Some aggrieved members of the Bike Riders Union have accused their president, Ismail Sandi, of corruption and misuse of office, in a strongly worded letter addressed to the Ministries of Transport and Aviation and Employment, Labour and Social Security, and the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC. The aggrieved members called for their intervention to ensure transparency and accountability in the union's administration. These aggrieved members also accused the president of not working in the interest of bike riders or in line with the union's constitution, among other things. And in the studio this morning, to help us understand the hullabaloo that has gripped this body, we do have in the studio Mohammed Nabil, who is the public relations officer for the Sierra Leone Commercial Motorbike Riders Union. He's one of the aggrieved members of the union. Nabi, it's a pleasure having you in our studio. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, viewers.
And also, Mohammed Toure, who is the regional chairman, Bike Riders Union, and he's a member of the media team of course, he's here representing the president, Ismail Sandi. Mohammed, it's a pleasure having you in the program this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. I start off with you, Nabil. We've seen the letter, and it has strong wordings, and even from the intro, it paints a picture as if something is wrong. Where do you think your president has gone wrong? Firstly, let's start off. We need to understand you've been dismissed as the PRO. Are you still the PRO of the union?
I'm still the PRO as far as the constitution of the union says. I am still the public relations officer of the Sierra Leone Commercial Motorbike Riders Union as enshrined in the constitution of the Bike Riders Union.
So, what's the disconnect? What's the current disconnect between yourself? I suppose 3 members that were dismissed, and the union.
The current disconnect is because the public relation officer, the national secretary general, the women's leader, and other national executive members stood against the unconstitutionality that is prevailing in the Bike Riders Union. We stood against the corrupt activities that is currently happening in the Bike Riders Union. We campaigned on the premise of giving a better livelihood to the Bike Riders Union. We campaigned for a better development and a legal representation, medical facilities, and so many other things for the riders. We campaigned to correct the wrongdoings of the past leaders and this current administration to come and take the union to another apex of development. That was the campaign we campaigned to the members of the riders. That led us to have the victory, and that led the president of the Bike Riders Union, President Ismail Sandi, was overwhelmingly voted on the 5th of May 2024 at the Beach Money International Hotel. So on that premise or that campaign, we are anticipating that the president will come and take this union to another level in terms of development. But since we took office, unfortunately, the president and his cohort had taken the union completely from what we have planned in giving to the membership of the Bike Riders Union. What are these things? One, the current union is currently, we inherited EcoBank accounts from the former president, Umar Oteliba. But as we are speaking now, the union is operating with orange money, while the EcoBank account is up and running, right? Currently, the union is working with orange money. Whose orange money? The president's orange money and the financial secretary orange money. How can a whole union, the biggest employment youth or organization in terms of employment-wise in this country, harbor their economic activities on orange money? It is so unfortunate and appalling. We said, Mr. President, this is wrong. We cannot continue with this trend. Secondly, we have 4 revenue bases. One is the identification of our members. The proceeds we got at national level are supposed to be directly put into the union's coffer. But unfortunately, these proceeds that are coming from the ID cards is 100% embezzled by the president, 100%.
Have you proved to ascertain same?
100%. That is why we are expecting an investigation into this particular matter.
So I ask again, have you proved to ascertain that the funds are 100% embezzled by the president?
100%, yes.
So where are the proofs?
The proof is the finances that are coming from the union are being directly put into his orange money and no accountability for it. And the president says this particular money he's going to make use of it. In Bike Riders Union, in Sierra Leone, he does not have any farm. His farm is Bike Riders Union. He made this unfortunate statement in a meeting where the Board of Trustees were in attendance, the National Executive Council, secretaries and executive members were in attendance, the former Secretary General were in attendance, in a meeting to have an internal resolution. The president made this unfortunate statement. How could you use this kind of statement, you sitting in a public office, saying that you does not have farm outside Sierra Leone? Bike Riders, it's your farm. So literally, all the incomes or the proceeds coming directly to the union is being embezzled with impunity. Is
there a finance head?
Of course, the financial secretary, Amara Tangabe, they are in connival. That is why I said the financial secretary and the president, orange money, are the current bank account for the Bike Riders Union instead of the EcoBank account we are supposed to operate on.
I suppose you are a member of the executive.
Of course.
Very integral member of the executive.
Exactly.
The mouthpiece of the executive.
Yes, sir.
One would be in a haste to say you're also part of the problem.
I'm not part of the problem. That is why we have made our positions clear. Because internally we have discussed, we have held so many redress mechanisms for us to have something fixed and have the administration up and running. But unfortunately, the president didn't hear us. He didn't comply. He didn't respect whatever resolution we came up with. He disregarded every steps and processes we held at the secretariat, right? And secondly, the other proceeds that is coming also from the union that is being embezzled by the president is the sticker. Each and every bike that are applying on the streets and roads of Sierra Leone are supposed to be registered under the union. And those stickers that are being given to the riders are provided by the National Secretariat.
Is it free of any cost?
No, it's not free.
So what's the cost?
Right? We are selling to the region buys it and later sell to the district.
What's the cost?
The cost from national to region is 10 years. So the proceeds we are making from those stickers are being embezzled by the president 100% with no accountability. Thirdly, we are giving receipt books. Our riders are being arrested for minor petty offenses like helmet, sleepers riding, overloading, you doing the unlawful things when riding a commercial bike. We have our bike monitoring officers that are there to help aid the police in terms of traffic rules and regulation for our membership to fully comply. So what we did, we want our membership to be identified whenever they are caught on a daily basis. So we provided a receipt books. Those receipt books are there to be given to the riders whenever they are caught and whenever they pay their fine. Those receipt books will be given to them, receipts will be given to them as a fine or as a receipt for them to keep in case they are being intercepted by any other BMO or members of the union with regards another offense. So he will use the receipt book for him to have another mercy. You understand? And the receipt book is being printed also from the National Secretariat. Those funds also coming from the receipt books at national level, not region, not district, because region have their own economic activities, district have their own economic activities, PAC have their own economic activities. All what I'm saying is at national level, all the proceeds that are supposed to come to the direct coffer of the union on these receipt books are being embezzled also 100% by the president. Then we have the ticket sales. These ticket sales across the country, our members are paying daily tickets 2 leones per day. the National Secretariat also is charged with the responsibility to print those receipt books. No other organs is dare do that. If you do that, there is piracy, you'll be arrested, and we will take you to the police. You understand? And we are printing our ticket at the government printing department, GPD, at New Englandville, right? Those tickets, whenever we printed those tickets, we sell to the region. The region buy the ticket, and they too sell to the district, right? The district buy the ticket, and they too sell to these parks. The park now sell directly to the riders. Those proceeds, the national sold to the regions and other places, are supposed to be directed to the coffer of the Bike Riders Union. Unfortunately, only 30% that are being given to the presented to the union secretariat on monthly basis, only to give stipends to national executive that pleases the president, whosoever he wants to give to. You understand? So all of these things, and also the president has monopolized the offices of other national executives, and that has led other national executive members to go in their respective places to go and do whatever they feel like doing that will earn them more economic gains rather than sitting in the office doing nothing. So Mohammed, all of these things were put on paper. We held so many meetings with the national president, and also the constitution says 2 months after the conduct of the Bike Riders Union election, we are to appoint the board of trustees. These board of trustees are charged with the responsibility to regulate the affairs of the national secretariat or executive. But unfortunately, we are 1 year, some weeks now in office. The president had vehemently refused to approve or to allow a quorum to be set for us to approve the board of trustees. Okay. So all of these things are challenges that is currently going on, and so many other issues. You understand?
We'll talk on the main issues, but again, let me also share in Mohammed. Mohammed, what's the current position of the union with regards to the capacity of Nabil and others who've been suspended? Are they still members of the union? Are they still serving their respective capacities?
Thank you so much. Let me first and foremost correct my brother Nabil by addressing himself as a PRO. He's a former PRO, and I'll be mindful of the fact that you call yourself PRO on a national platform like this. We regard it as an impersonation, and be mindful of that. When impersonate, that is a law. So he's our former PRO. We regard him on that particular.
Was he not legitimately elected in that position?
He was, but he's no longer.
So what were the procedures that were followed?
The procedure is very clear. We have a well-constituted body within the Bike Riders Union. We have at park level, district level, regional level, national level, and board of trustees. Okay. And the law is very clear.
Do you have board of trustees?
Of course.
Okay.
You know, Article 6 in our Constitution is very clear. When somebody contravenes certain principles or sections of the Constitution, which we regard it as an anti-union activities, we live with no alternative but to sign a vote of no confidence as against you. And of course, on Monday, the whole country, the 16 districts, and the 40 regional executive members across the country came to Freetown and examined their conduct. They will leave no alternative but to lay them off. So I'm here this morning to tell my brother Nabil that he must stop, you know, the impersonation as it stands. Then moving forward, of course, only, you know, there are 12 executives at national level. 12. I think only 3 were aggrieved. Among the 12, only 3 persons.
Including Nabi.
Including Nabi, the former PRO here, and the former Secretary General as well, Augustine Mafinda, and the Charlie Augustine Ashon Baka. These were the 3 people who were aggrieved among the 12 executive members at national level. Okay, but before this time, there were a lot of issues, you know, which Nabi here and the National Secretary General have contravened certain principles and code of conduct within the Bike Riders Union. So this letter, the rules, in fact, we as a union did not even countenance the letter.
Why is that the case?
Because it lacks structure.
Was it not legitimate?
They failed to follow structures. You know, there are structures within this union. When you feel aggrieved, there are areas you have to place your complaints. There are areas you have to be recognized. But in this particular perspective, they wrote a letter because of, you know, they have suspected that they are already under investigations. Nabi here have a lot of things that led to his explosion within the bike riders, Nabi here has been attacking the national president almost day by day with insulting conduct. A whole national public relation officer, whom we expect to be the image maker of this, he's insulting the president almost on a daily basis.
Yes, Mohammed,
yeah.
I understand the personals that would have existed in the union's operations and activities. Yes, he's the mouthpiece of the union. But again, he made some strong statements with regards to ineligible expenditures that he says continues to be the business as usual for the union. He said that the union at this moment lacks an account where finances that are collected from its membership have been deposited. And the union has resorted to utilizing mobile money. How true are these allegations?
When you have people who are deceitful in a public, holding public positions, it is totally disservice in this case. As a regional chairman, they have their own account at EcoBank. We normally deposit there whenever we want to purchase tickets. So I wonder how this oil money come about. That is why in our previous statement he said if you have any evidence to ascertain to it. And there is no evidence around that. We have asked this question several times. Okay, if he said this money are going to the running money of the president, can you confirm it? Away from that again, he also makes several claims that has to do with, the 70% of the union proceeds going to the president. How can that be possible? Let me educate Nabi. Maybe he lack knowledge as to how this operates within the, within the park level, district level. The tickets we are making, it has to do with 100%. The park level have 30%. District level has 25%. Regional level has, also 25%. The national level have only 15%, and the remaining 5% is going to, is going for the printing cost. So how can Nabi claim that the president is getting almost 70%? How can that be possible? These are just baseless statements. It do not have any moral high ground. So this has been our concern. And before this particular point in time, this is a letter of vote of no confidence we signed against Abiyu and that of Augustine Mafinda. Mind you, there were 3 people who were aggrieved. Abiyu, a national secretary general, and that of the national charity. But the vote of no confidence was only signed against Abiyu and the national secretary general. The charity, we did not sign any vote of no confidence against her because she did not, contravene any sections within the principle and code of conduct.
Jallo, have you investigated Nabi's claim before the decision to kick off the executive is arrived at? Have you had an investigation on the claims he made? Because the claims sound legit by the looks of things. Sound legit.
Of course, there was a disciplinary committee set up, to investigate Nabil and Augustine Mafinda, and because of they have noticed that their wrongdoing for the past, they did not show up. They were called upon several times to face the committee. They did not show up. So we live with no alternative but to go into actions which our constitution gives us the money to do so. Mind you, we are not against their claims, but the structure and the procedure used, before this time is concerned.
Are you in favor of transparency and accountability? The union is one that has gone beyond the imagination of any other person. And on a daily basis, as journalists, we've encountered bike riders who've had frantic concern. They've made bitter concerns, bitter complaints about the operations and activities of the union, taking into account their welfare, among other things. Many of the bikes of bike riders are in the police stations. Now you go to Central Police, go to Kisi Police,
I agree.
A number of bikes are there as a result of, yes, some recalcitrant attitude and others for offenses that will have been settled through mere warnings, among other things. What has been the role of the union in addressing the barrage of challenges that you're faced with, rather than one that sits on someone asking for accountability and transparency in the union?
I think we are very open up when it comes to accountability. We are very more open up and we are supportive. That has to do, whatever that has to do with accountability in this particular case. But the bottom line is, the complaint made by Nabil, or the assertion, or the claims made by Nabil, are they legitimate? The answer is no. Are they serious?
But have you investigated
Let me come.
Yes,
let
Mohammed.
me come.
Yes, Mohammed.
Let me go help you. These complaints are not genuine. You know, these are people, whenever they are, you know, at the helm of affairs, things are going well for them, they automatically, they will not say anything. But Nabil, all because of, he was assigned to certain project to manage them, and this project did not went well. The president said, okay, let's put on hold to this project. Let us see how best we can investigate this project and come up with a decision. There come the grip of it, Nabil. He's not sincere. Let me be clear here. This is the man, the previous time we are having welfare challenges within the bike riders, you know, at that time, you know, some months back, you know, we took our complaint to one of the highest office in this country. Very seriously.
Which office was that?
Of course, office of the first lady.
Okay.
But because Nabil here was our PRO at that time, we said, okay, Nabil, you go and present our concern to the first lady so that we can see how best this concern can be addressed. He said, okay. And fortunately, he went to the office of the first lady and said, Mama, we have several issues that want to come, you know, to you for look into it and address it. Okay, the first lady said, okay, no problem, by next week he can come. You know, all of a sudden, Nabil went to with his co-host, they seated together. Then the first lady called us for us to go and put out our welfare challenges, so on and so forth. Can you imagine? To show how deceitful this guy is. He said, whenever we went there, he said, yes, Nabil, explain your concern. He said, well, Mommy, we have settled all the matters. I was shocked. Majority of us were shocked. So we came to realize that Nabil is deceitful. It's only thing he has in his mind is personal interest. So these complaints he made here because prayer is getting taken 100%, his concerns are not genuine, they are not legit, and he's not sincere. So we are open up to every single investigation within the bike riders, you know. We are not against any accountability, but let it be for the interest of the ordinary members, not for a personal interest. This particular concern, it is personal, and we do not countenance it at all.
We know things evolve, and so many times we then see the need to change the ways of doing things. But had there been any moment in time wherein the union has resorted to transfer or do transactions through mobile money?
Well, that has never been in our knowledge, and we never know that. We only know that there are accounts. In fact, we have both accounts. We have Zenith account and that of EcoBank account. But this claim Nabil made that the money is transferring through mobile money, I think is a subject to investigation. But we do not countenance it and would not even regard that as a fact. But one thing I can assure here, all these operations Nabil is talking of here, ticket, sticker, he was part of all these operations. He was part of all these operations. If at all Nabil has a legitimate concern, it is not because maybe he has been removed to certain operational levels, so okay, Nabil can wait for us, that make him feel aggrieved. If at all he was genuine with his intention, talking for the membership, talking for the general membership, maybe he should have raised this concern before this time. But all because they said, no, Nabil, wait. This has been the whole issue.
Nabil, will you accede to the facts of his statement that you're deceitful? And you lack a pinch of salt in terms of the manner at which you report yourself.
Before I answer that question, the position in which my chairman is here talking, that tells you this man is deceitful to the public. The position in which he is now.
So what's his position?
He is the regional chairman for Western area, full stop. You understand? And the issue is against the National Executive Council. You understand?
But
I'm coming. I believe.
I just wanted to ask, solicit clarification. Perhaps the president had asked him, so had the president had delegated the responsibility on him to come and talk on behalf of the...
I'm coming.
Is it not possible? Is that not the modus operandi?
Yes, sir. It is not constitutional. You understand? What this man is doing also, he is trying to do something deceitful to the members and the general public. You understand? The man is the regional chairman, full stop. No other position as for now. You understand? And the position or the questions is Mohammed S. Toure the presidential spokesman? The answer is no. And the only position we have in this union as public relations officer is Mohammed Etin Abusita. I'm coming. Let me just come in. Let me just say, let me just, I'm coming. When you were talking, I didn't say anything.
No, you are impersonating.
Hello?
Call yourself Nabiu. Call yourself Nabiu.
Can you protect me,
But call
please?
yourself as national PRO.
Can you protect me, please? When he was making all of his
and you
fallacies, I didn't make any comment. Right? Please protect me, Mr. Moderator.
You're right, Nabi. Continue.
So, Mr. President, our President Ismail Sandi, we have the National Executive Council. We have all the National Executive members that are also charged with the responsibility to come and defend the allegations. This man is one of the judge. Look how deceitful he is. He is one of the judge. The judge is now the defender. The man that is supposed to preside and give fair play in all of these things, he is now the one defending, instead of being curious to know all of these allegations and to investigate before taking any decision. But he deliberately deceived himself instead of deceiving the public, saying that we were called. The meeting was held on Monday. The letter was, we wrote the letter on the 7th of May, and we wrote to the Ministry of Labor and the Office of National Security, the Ministry of Transport and Ministry of Youth, for them to look into the injustice that is currently happening in the Bike Riders Union. Of course, I'm the National Public Relations Officer. My role and responsibility is to communicate to the public and to defend the membership as and when necessary. I don't have any dealings with finances in the union. I don't have any hands in tickets, receipt books. If any investigation led to me, Mohammed Etin Nabil, have hands in the dealings of ticket, receipt book, ID card proceeds, let this so-called vote of no confidence stand against me. You understand? But I firmly believe these people have what I call acrimony as against Etin Nabil. They have personal vendetta as against me. Because just the question he asked him, if he is honest and sincere enough, were we called to a meeting or to a questioning or to an investigation committee? The answer is no, Capita. We were not called.
They said you were called and you failed to attend.
To my faith as a Muslim, let them bring out the document or the evidence that we were called.
Nabil,
we are not called.
Nabil,
you understand?
Has there been any point in time wherein you've been on record to have said negative statements against the presidency the Bike Riders Union?
Let them come out to with any evidence here or tomorrow, anytime, the so-called vote of no confidence stands. I will humbly or gladly accept it. I myself, I will resign from that position. You understand? If anything like that there comes up as against me, I am an honorable man. I respect authorities, but I speak to something that is unconstitutional. I speak against corruption that is currently happening in the union. I believe it is my right and it is my obligation to defend the riders out there. Our primary responsibility collecting those funds from the rider, one, is to give them the welfare, to establish or to give them medical facilities whenever they had an accident or they fell sick. We need to give them. It's not too much. This is not rocket scientist. You understand? Though we don't have the finances to establish the medical facilities for now, but we can have contract or partnership with the established medical centers across the countries. You understand? That is possible. It is possible. We can do it. Only the willingness. Secondly, our riders are being charged to court and being sent to jail. Our responsibility is to defend those riders. Our responsibility is to give them legal luminaries to represent them in the court of law.
Has that been the case for
the capital? Is no. You understand? These are all the requests Mohammed Nabi and others are requesting that led to this unconstitutional vote of no confidence my chairman here is blabbing about. You understand? So what I'm saying, Mohammed Nabi asking for justice in the union. I didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything wrong. We wrote to the Ministry of Labor. The Ministry of Labor has the constitutional right, and the Ministry of Labor is our principal line ministry as far as trade unions are concerned in Sierra Leone. This is the institution that is charged with the responsibility to give us license as a union to regulate and for us to submit our financial reports on a yearly basis to the Ministry of Labor. If internally we have held so many meetings and those meetings didn't end fruitful, all the meetings were held for us to resolve our internal dealings and have transparency and accountability and allow the Board of Trustees to be approved. The Board of Trustees are there to regulate the affairs of the union. And up till now, they are not yet be approved. He himself being the regional chairman, they had sent their own list, two from the Western area, for them to be approved by the National Executive Council. But the president vehemently refused the sitting or to set up a quorum for us to approve the Board of Trustees, thinking that myopically that maybe the executive of the council, the Board of Trustees, we supersede his authority. No, that is not the position. No. And let me come, sir, please. And he made an assertion that we went to Her Excellency. Anything pertaining Her Excellency, I will not discuss it here. No. That one is forbidden.
Was that the way you behaved when you...
No, I said anything pertaining Her Excellency, I will not discuss it on media. You understand? But that one also is complete false.
Nabi,
full stop.
Nabi, do you think you're loved by the union?
Of course.
Because the realities seem far from that. More so when we see you being kicked off of the union, you haven't had any cry from anywhere.
Yeah, you know why?
Your expulsion.
You know why?
Yeah.
I or our members believe in the rule of law. My message for over the years since I came into this office, 2018, my responsibility is to calm the riders. It will advocate for them to be law-abiding, to work within the framework of the law, not to take the law into their own hands. So the riders are patiently waiting for the outcome, the final outcome of this issue. That is why I have called. We have our own platform where we discuss and meet. I said no. The last resort will not be the first resort. My own primary concern, this issue is at the decks of the stakeholders or the authorities that are charged with the responsibility. Labor, Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Youth, Office of National Security. The issue is there, right? Calling for justice, calling for transparency, calling for constitutional review, calling for the Board of Trustees to be properly constituted. Is that a crime? Mr. Kroma, let me, going to SLBC, this is a public office. It's not a private or personal office. Mohammed Nabi going to the office, to the SLBC, to communicate or to throw light about the day-to-day activities happening in the union. Is that a crime?
Mohammed, a lot was said by Nabi. But first of all, I ask, has the union a legal representative?
Thank you so much. You know, when Nabi is talking...
Mohammed,
yeah.
I asked again, has the union a lawyer?
No, not at all. But let me come, please. Nabi is talking to gain public sympathy. Because you have been kicked out of office. Today he's shouting everywhere and then I'm talking for the membership. This man have represented this now for 5 years, 5 months. 5 years, 5 months. There were riders at Pademba Road at that time. There were several challenges. This issue never come up because at that time he was, you know, at the end of Papia getting benefits. So today he's shouting everywhere, I want to talk for my riders. Why now? It's Nabi. Don't be deceitful. You know, let me be clear here, Mr. Moderator. Nabi is talking of they don't have legal luminary. For 5 years, 5 months, where were you? Where were you? Ishmael Sani just came into office a year ago. You know, May 5 make him, you know, in the office at 1 year exactly. But this man has represented this, you know, for 5 years, 5 months. You know, he has never defended any single rider within this country. I have defended the membership of this, you know, more than 8 Nabi. The public can justify. So he's here this morning talking, I'm defending the membership. All this is talking because to gain public sympathy because he has been kicked out of office. Okay, so if he's talking of legal luminary for 5 years, 5 months, what have you? What have you, Nabil? You know, nothing. But again, he also mentioned another issue talking of the crime receipt or sticker. You know, to tell you that this man is not consistent, he's deceitful. This man was part of the sticker proceed. Whenever you post it up the sticker, you know, or ID card proceed, 18 ABU and other, they were giving stipend among these proceeds. Can you deny? No, the answer is no. So that's why I said there are concerns raised here. It is not genuine.
You are not the one to talk.
I'm coming. Please, can you allow me to learn?
But again, at this moment, Mohammed and Nabi,
you have been told.
What should the public trust in terms of the submissions you've made? Should the public trust Mohammed's submission, or should the public trust?
It is very clear that the public has their own way to investigate whether what I'm saying here is fact or not. But they should be mindful of the fact that this document has been signed already. And
forget about the signing of the document. It is unconstitutionally signed.
Can you allow me to learn?
No. That document is not
Nabil is no longer a national
you cannot just galvanize people and sign document without any due process, making all sorts of fallacious statements as against me.
As a PRO. He's a former PRO, and let me tell you this, Mr. Moderator. Let me come. We have 40 delegates across the country. 40 delegates across the country. We have 17 district chairmen across the country. All these 40 delegates and 17 district chairmen across the country append their signature against former PRO. So if he's saying I have my own member, I have my own riders, how can it be justified?
Was that the responsibility of the board of trustees?
No.
Responsibility of
it is the responsibility of the regional executive member to sign a vote of no confidence against any national executive member who contravenes certain principle or code of conduct within the laws of this as far as the BR is concerned.
We've had a couple of messages on our Facebook page.
I sent you.
Let's see ways to go through these ones and allow you to respond. First off is from Amadou Janbari says, Samuel, good morning. Kindly ask the PRO of the Bike Riders Union what the riders benefit from paying for the tickets they pay for every day. Many times I've asked the majority of the riders and even seen where some of them fight with the sales ticket officers for refusing to pay for the ticket because they said they are not benefiting anything from the union. Muzi says, what's the meaning of a union when all we are witnessing publicly is disunity? Accusations and counter-accusations, insults, etc. Bike riders, you are the losers. Lamin D. Kawa says, interesting, Bike Riders Union on fire. Again, who to believe in this issue? Sao Feji Kuruma says, they are putting all the money in their pockets. You know how many bike riders are in prison, and that's a question asked by him. So we'll allow you to respond to these messages. Mohammed, you start. Either of you start. Either of you can take. Respond to the messages and
So what I will say, the first question by Mr. Banja or Jambai Barry, right? So what is the rider's benefit? So me seated here, I didn't see any benefit, right? The riders are the constituents. They are the true owner of this union. The man is saying I'm making public sympathy. I have been in this position for over 5 years. He has defended this union more than me. So unfortunate, right? The regional chairman, or he was a district chairman, manding only East Shell to Waterloo, saying that he had defended this union more than me. The public can judge. You understand? Today, the repetition of this union where we are today in terms of media representation, in terms of representing this union to state authorities, defending this union to state authorities, nobody dare dispute Mohammed 18 Abiu. Mr. Toure, you understand? So the issue of riders benefiting, the answer is capital NO. You understand? We are just extorting the money for no good use.
For 5 years,
These are basic needs the riders need.
For 5 years,
you
5
understand?
months.
Yes, my voice has been learned on this for a very long time. But unfortunately, no result. Saying why now is too early for me to come up with this particular issue? No, the answer is no. Under the leadership of President Ishmael Sandi, the reason I didn't support the previous administration anymore, I was the first national executive when this current president was the regional chairman, the position my brother is occupying currently. The current president was the regional chairman. Because of I underscore, I felt so bad with regard to the past administration leadership, and we need development in this union. My brother, the current president, and I, we sat and discussed. Please, PRO, support me. We will change or correct all the mistakes done by the previous administration. I said, okay, as long as you have the energy, you have the sympathy and the empathy for the riders, I will support you. President Teliba, term of office, 1 year for him to end his office. I declared for the current president that Mohammed Etinabi, henceforth my own candidate for the 2024 Bike Riders Union election, is President Ishmael Sandi. I supported him because of transparency, accountability, and to come and change the union. That was why I supported him. We agreed. You understand? Unfortunately, when we took up power, the president is working contrary to what we agreed upon. I have held so many meetings with him for us to have dialogue and for us to fix the membership and to give what is duly right to the riders. But unfortunately, that is not happening. So that is why, for me to sit by the end of the 5 year, 5 months, then I will come again on media debunking or going against President Ishmael Sandi. The same question like my brother is referring out to me will be asked, why now? You were there until the end of his time. So that is why the earlier the better. I have taken the bold step. I'm taking the bullet for the the membership of 1,256,000 riders. We need to give lawyers to the riders, legal luminaries. We need to give medical centers to the riders, not just to make sure for the riders' money, extort them for no good reason, no benefit. This is public money for God's sake. Let the public investigate this matter. We need investigation, not only to just call people, coerce them to go and sign vote of no confidence or constitutionally talking about.
My brother,
the PRO is not.
Former PRO Nabiu, I want to continue that.
You are just deceiving yourself. That document is false. That document is baseless.
I think, am I protected, sir? Am I protected, sir?
You're fully protected.
That document is baseless.
I know the angle you are coming from.
You know the angle, no problem.
Let me address. Please allow me to learn. It's like
regional chairman. You are the judge. It's telling you being the judge now. You are the defender. No.
Please allow me to learn.
No, sir. No.
Let me share the record.
I will ask you to exit the studio. Listen, this is not just a national television. It's a global television.
I know.
I will ask you to exit the studio. Should you say the word, please allow him to.
No problem.
When you were responding, you did so quietly.
Yeah, thank you so much. Somebody said if riders are benefiting from the sales of tickets and other proceeds. Yes, I will say yes, even though challenges are there. I will not confirm that it is 100%, but I can assure you that when you come to the areas of welfare, I think we have been trying our best since President Ishmael Sandi came in. Itnabi also can confirm that as well. But I will not say it is 100%, and that is why we are working, to improve on it as it goes. And the remaining messages, it's all start to do our internal wrangling. As I said earlier on, that the former national PRO Itnabi here have been at the helm of affairs for almost 6 years now. He has been the public, he was the public liaison officer at the era of President Omar Teliba and up to now the era of President Ishmael Sandi. But every executive members across this country can confirm that Itnabi only has his own personal interest. Whenever he's not at the helm of affairs, getting money or getting resources as he feel like, he will say no. Okay, let me go and inform the public that, as if he's talking for the membership. He's not. Let me give an example. This is the man that have served this union for 5 years, 5 months. 40 delegates across this country, 16 district chairmen across this country. All of them came to Freetown. None of them have even a little sympathy for this guy. Every single post he talk of the Itnabi is selfish and self-centeredness. That is why everybody append their signatures against him. They tells you that this man is not, this man is not working for the interest of the bike riders.
Were they not sycophants, so the reality is affecting?
If they are sycophants, can you imagine how can the first delegate and 16 district chairmen all be sycophants at the same time? How can that be possible? How can that? You must have one individual that will say, no, for me, I stand with it, Nabil. And you don't even have single riders. Even the park he came from, Lomley, single rider is not even talking of it, Nabil. This tells that the man is not working for the interest of the bike riders. Let me take you. There were a project recently which we call Okada Money Pots. That has to do with, life insurance or whatever, health insurance. Nabil was heading this project. This project became, corrupted. The president put on hold to it. It's okay, let's wait. Let us investigate this project, how it's going. Nabil feel offended. This has been his own issue over the years, even the era of President, Umar Teliba. Nabil have never called upon, let us go and remove rider from Palemba Road. All he cares is his personal interest.
Do you, at this moment, yourself and Nabil, do you at this moment wish for the union to call on the service of external auditors to audit the activities and operations of the union in regards to the questions raised? I mean, eligible expenditure.
As I said, we always open up to external auditor, internal auditor. The door of the president is always open. And he has always told us that, gentlemen, whenever you want to ask me any question, I want to be investigated, I am open up. We are not against the allegations of the former PRO being put on paper on blah blah, but our concern is his allegations now, they are not genuine. We know the angle he's coming from because he has been blocked.
And that's why the allegations should have been investigated before
taking action.
Let me come. Let me come. Before the signing of this particular document, can you allow me to learn? Can you, please? Please, Mr. Former PRO.
No, we are
but respect me as as a regional chairman sitting in front of you. You are just a former national PRO and be mindful of that.
That's your mere opinion.
No, it's not opinion. It is fact.
It's an opinion.
No, it is not.
It's an opinion.
It is not. In fact, you and us not even share podium as it stands. I only respected the call of the media to be here because you are former.
Thank you so very much for having sensed him and decided to come back. Now, in a few 30 seconds, we're about to go for sports.
So please,
do you wish for an internal audit to be instituted at this moment for the bike riders union?
That is my primary concern. That is our concern. We need an external auditor to investigate the internal dealings of the union. If by the end of the investigation, all my allegations stated here were fallacy or untrue, definitely I will humbly step out of this position.
And gentlemen, as we wrap off this segment, Nabi, you've seen all of these anomalies, all of what you considered anomalies in the union's operational activity. Will you wish to, at this moment, say you are still the PR person for the union? Will you wish at this moment to voluntarily excuse yourself from the executive, taking into account, you said you're a man of unblemished character, among other things?
My own wish and my own position, by the constitution of the Bike Riders Union, the quorum they formed was unconstitutional. The decision they took was unconstitutional.
Nabi, you've not answered my question. Simply put, do you wish to resign? Taking into cognizance, you said a lot of anomalies are going on in the union.
Well, my challenge, I will not. If I want the problem to solve, I need to be part of the solution.
Okay.
If I took the exit door, then the problem will not be resolved.
Thank you so very much, Nabi.
Yeah. And so I need the problem to be solved. Gentlemen, so I will call other stakeholders for us all to have justice.
Gentlemen,
it's
been a pleasure having you in the studios, and we hope this hula baloo within the union will be solved.